This is Julie.
Hey, calendar, what's my morning like?
Julie's about to have a long day.
At 9 a.m., soccer carpool. 9:10, purchase birthday card. 9:05, dry cleaning.
Did you just go backwards?
I'm sorry, I can't fit that question into your schedule. 9:15, cry for a little bit.
For days that won't end, let Schwann's help. With Schwann's, you can get delicious meals that go from freezer to table in minutes, not hours. Ordered, delivered, done. That's homemade easy. Visit today at schwanns.com.
At Farmers Insurance, we know every windshield collision has a unique sound. Beetle. Bird poop. Drone. Seen it, covered it. Click for more.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
Hi there, this is Jim the Keys bartender coming to you from my house for a change. We have some limited time today. I have to go and take care of a familial obligation with my daughter's playing her one of her first volleyball games, and I want to be there for it. But I have Skype, and I'm going to attempt to reach out and touch someone right now. I'm in Key Largo right now. And I'm calling a friend of the show. Let's see how that works out. And we are calling Mr. Pat McGeehan. Here. Hopefully he'll pick up. Let me stop this. Hey, Pat.
Hey, buddy.
How you doing?
Good, buddy. How are you?
Let me introduce you. This is Pat McGeehan, the owner of McGeehan's Rock Bottom in Philadelphia, Cotman and Cottage. We spoke about it a lot on the show so far, and you were down here in what was that, April, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Has things gotten so bad that you can't remember when you traveled? Have you traveled that much?
Well, how many beers do you think I had since then?
Yeah, well, more than a case, less than a truckload. Yeah, that's right.
Less than a million,
yeah.
More than 100.
Well, you know what? To acquaint everyone, Pat, I've known Pat, at least 30 years, I think, when I started going to your pub. I'm from, originally lived in a neighborhood when I was a young kid. My family has a history at McGeehan's. And well, let's hear about the history of McGeehan's first. How long has McGeehan's been in your family?
Well, this is our 89th year. We'll finish our 89th year in December.
1929.
Yes.
So right around right after the stock market crash. Right after the stock.
Yeah. Well, started as a candy store because of Prohibition, which sold beer out of the back. Typical Irish Philadelphia, big city story.
So you're out of the statute of limitations ended on that, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't think they can prosecute my grandfather any longer.
No.
So that the month that Prohibition ended, he obtained his first liquor license.
Wow.
So that was December of 1933. Well,
that must have been an oddity that 2 months after the stock market, I think it was October, right?
Was it?
1929.
I'm gonna have to take your word for it.
I'm not exactly sure. I think the one in like 1988 or 87 was in October, but the same year as the stock market crashed, the Great Recession started in the United States. Your grandfather decided to open up a business.
Well,
that's bold. That's a bold. What would we say? What is the terminology? Can we say this about your grandfather? He was a ballsy.
Yeah, a ballsy prick. I guess so.
Yeah.
I mean, he owned a hotel in Atlantic City at one point.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was always a bootlegger. He had to lam it back to Ireland at least once.
Uh-huh.
And then I guess when he settled down, I guess Mayfair at that time was pretty bucolic. So I guess that seemed like an idyllic place.
Yeah, well, yeah, I remember Mr. Carboni had aerial photos of Mayfair in the 30s, like the late 30s or early, the late 1930s, and right up Continent Avenue on the other side of Route 1. If any of our listeners are familiar with it, it's all residential now, urban environment. It was all there was a lot of farmland up there.
Absolutely. There's a picture of my father on the back steps at McGeehan's there. There's nothing behind him. I think maybe St. Bernard's is in the background. That's it.
Yeah, and they built St. Bernard's in expectations of growth, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think the same year that McGeehan's opened.
Yeah. And then I think there was like little communities, like Holmesburg was like a little village up there. You had in Philadelphia, they just like places like New Orleans. A lot of times they refer to the parishes people are from, right? You know. Wait, I'm sorry.
Are you talking about churches and an adult store?
Well, I'm going to talk about the adult store later.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, we still don't. I mean, we have an adult store here. I'll get into that later, but I mean, this is about you guys right now. It's about McGeehan's. But okay, my connection, my family grew up there right before World War II, and my grandfather was a fireman. He was a lieutenant in the Philadelphia Fire Department, and I'm sure he probably went into McGeehan's before. But my uncle is infamous. I remember your father asking me, your father Cornelius McGeehan, right? He asked me when we were talking about family and stuff like that, and I said my mother's maiden name was Walczak, and he said, "Is your uncle Billy Walczak?" And he just looked at me, and I said, "Yeah, it is." And he was shocked because I mean, I guess I don't have the same reputation as Billy Walczak did. Well, but he got what?
You were always a gentleman in the bar. You may have been a ruthless ladies' man, but you were always a gentleman.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that, man. But I don't want to. I don't want to have a cult of personality when it comes to like that. It is my nickname was Jim Moran, the girly man. but Billy Walczak got a lifetime ban from the bar.
It was easier to do in those days. Now you really got to screw up to get thrown out.
Well, I'm sure my Uncle Bill, I knew my Uncle Bill very well. When he said that, I went, "Oh, well, I'm not shocked." I'm sure he did. He got really nasty. He wasn't a big guy. He was one of those little guys that got real nasty. But, yeah. And you have, we'll get back to it, but you have do you still have the DOTM and the DO?
Oh, yeah.
YM? Okay. So explain to our listeners what I'll say. It's Dick of the Month and Dick of the Year.
Dick of the Month, Dick of the Year, yes.
Yeah.
Kind of a friendly competition. It's not completely voluntary. Yeah. Sometimes you get drafted into the program. Just the members vote. Whichever member that particular month made the biggest dick of himself. And we've never had a shortage of material. It's people who don't take themselves too seriously in McGeehan, so they're willing to laugh at themselves and each other.
Now let me
yearly we have a vote, and it's Dick of the Year. You're reigning champ. You always get a mention in the month, and you get a mention the next year's election.
Who will I recognize any of the recent Dick of the Years?
Yeah, sure. I'm trying to think who's current Dick of the Year right now. I'm going to say that Sean McLaughlin's in the lead.
I remember.
Yeah,
Sean McLaughlin.
He's got 3 or 4 months under his belt this year. He's having a hell of a year. He's having a career year, as a matter of fact.
Oh my gosh, he's a veteran. Because I remember 25 years ago his name was on there. Wow,
Richter always pops up.
What? Who does?
You remember the Ricker? He always pops up.
Yeah.
But, I make the list quite often.
How about Billy Haviland?
Billy Haviland's a perennial favorite. He doesn't get cheated when it comes to Dick in a Month.
Oh, he does?
No.
Yeah.
As you know. See, Timmy Craig.
I remember Timmy Craig being up. And Timmy Craig, I never really understood that part because every time I seen him, he seemed like such a sweetheart. What do you have to do to earn the ignominy or the infamy of being Dick of the Month? What kind of behavior? Like, can you pick a moment that makes it, or is it a general attitude the person carries themselves with?
It's
like Jack Mulholland. Mulholland. Remember? How about Jack Mulholland?
Jack Mulholland, I think he disappeared. He's around the same legendary status as Bigfoot right about now.
Oh,
we don't see much of him. There's glimpses. You hear rumors. Pat Baker, he's dry now. He lives down the shore.
Oh man. Okay. So
yeah.
Sean McLaughlin.
Sean McLaughlin.
What? Like, for instance, is there an incident that wouldn't break too much confidentiality?
Yeah, I mean it's a well-known trait of Sean's to overtly borrow things.
Yeah.
The last time he might have got a little sticky on it. That's all.
He called me. He used to call me Jim Luganus, who likes it up the anus.
Not a good nickname.
No, it's not a good nickname. But you know what? If you don't put up a big stink about it, a lot of times it just falls by the wayside.
It just goes away, right? Yeah,
just goes away. You don't worry about it. You just laugh it off. It's pretty funny. I wanted to ask you this because I was recalling that. Did I ever get into voting for it?
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Well, I mean, you said I'm always a gentleman, but I'm what'd you say? How'd you phrase that?
A ruthless ladies' man.
Well, why would you say something like that?
Well, you left a trail of broken hearts.
I don't think I broke too many hearts. I don't believe that. No, I don't believe that. I tried hard.
We're not gonna bring up any names or anything like that, but there was a lot of girls who might have been smitten.
Oh yeah. I remember one St. Pat. Oh, I want to talk about. I don't want to get wrapped up in me. I'd rather get wrapped up in the McGeehans. Their biggest nights of the year. Okay, you have. I mean, anytime there's I guess any playoff game that Philadelphia's in, St. Patrick's Day, the holidays were always fun, going down there. But St. Patrick's Day especially. I mean, I remember going there and it seemed like a Tokyo subway at rush hour. You know what I mean? I mean, you're just shoving people in there, and you had a DJ in. It was your liquor storage room. Was that?
Oh yeah.
I met Kara. I met a girl there.
Oh yeah, Kara Gannon. Yes.
Kara Gannon. I went out with her a while because
Hey, how about that?
I worked my way into that. Tiny. Right?
Who would have guessed you dated her?
My leading line was "Hello, my lovely," or something like that, or "Darling," or something like that. It was but McGeehan's was. You know what? It was a good place to meet girls. Really, I remember.
Yeah, one time wasn't bad at all. Most of your audience has never even seen a place like McGeehan's. They couldn't even believe that a place like that exists.
No, you had it. I mean, it's different now. You've really changed, expanded it, the back room and all that.
There's only so far you can go.
I told the owner of the Catch, they earn the same amount. I don't mean to say that as square footage because how tiny McGeehan's is. I said you would be able to retire in 5 years. and square footage is a premium down here in the Keys. And I just think when it's crowded, it just feeds on itself. People see it's crowded in there. Okay, it's 40 people, 50 people. That's a lot of people, right?
That's a lot of people in McGeehan.
Yeah, it's fun. It's loud. It's fun.
Yeah, it can be. It can be, and for the most part, very friendly. You know, it can be cliquey. Obviously, a place that big can't be the most welcoming spot in the world. You know what I mean?
You know, when I came back, I think my entree was I was working at the Mark DiRossini, who's married to your sister.
My sister Megan.
Megan. He remembered me when I went in with Paul Lafferty from the Rosewood, and I was a maitre d' and bartender there. And when Mark DiRossini remembered who I was, I swear to God, it was like 3 months. I was part of the gang.
Oh, absolutely.
That
like
was
I
so
said,
quick.
Jim, you're always a gentleman. Everybody was always happy to see you. I mean, you didn't want to leave till 5 a.m. most times, but everybody always liked seeing you.
Well, I loved coming in there. I really did, especially when I had the loft. You know, the loft apartment. I would just say, "Oh, I got a loft down here," and the girl would say, "Oh, I'd like to see that." And I'd say, "Okay, well, that's good. We'll go down and take a look at it." That was my thing. But so, Pat,
but you weren't a ruthless ladies' man.
I were a ruthless ladies' man. I wouldn't let it go, would I?
You're denying that?
No. Tenacious. I was tenacious. I understand that. You know what? Remember, I was in AA for 7 years. Remember when I told you that? I spoke to you after a couple of years, and you said, "What did you say?" You said, I called Pat, and I said, I think I was trying to make amends?
I don't know. You had nothing to make amends with me.
Well, I don't know. I may have called you up, and I said, maybe I caused some, stirred up trouble there one time, and I called up. Okay, but when you something like that, you said, I think you said, "You'll be back," or something like that. You'll be back.
Well, here we are.
Yes, we are. We are here. And
I mean, there's no point to not drinking. I just don't get it. What do you do?
Well, I'm not a hypocrite or anything like that. I never was one of that in that point where I said everyone should quit drinking. At that time, it worked for me for 7 years. It gave me a little more perspective and mellowed out those rough edges that I still had. That ruthless ladies man syndrome. That was and that carried on when I was sober.
You think I was part of your personality?
Did you think I was formidable when I was drinking? When I was on my game, when I was sober and working out 12, 15 hours a week? Oh, man. I was devastating in the supermarket, in the gym. Yeah, luckily I didn't go to church. So
you've never been a shrinking violet either.
I try not, but once again, it's not that me. I just want to get back to the thing. I swore to God that I wouldn't do this stuff. This morning, this is what made me think of you, Pat. I dropped my daughter off, Sky, at school, and when it came out, my rear tire was flat or flattening. So I went and put air in it, right? And you know the story I'm going to talk about, right?
Go right ahead.
You don't have to mention the name or anything, But I don't want to put you on the spot. And I always swore that, especially my friends, I don't want to put them on the spot. But I was concerned. I said, "Oh, well, it was holding air after I put air in it. I thought it was a slow leak." And I said, "Well, I got to drive my daughter around. I better get some tires. I can't just decide one day not to have air in my tires." So I'm looking around to get the tires, and it came upon a time. It was I think you asked me on a Thursday night. You said you had 4 tires flattened in your car in North Wildwood, New Jersey. And we were in Northeast. And you said, "Would you like to come down for the weekend to your house?" And I'll let you take it from there. Tell me what happened at that moment. You told me that, and I don't even I think you told me what happened, and I think we needed to pick up tires in the Northeast off Tarsville Avenue near Van Kirk Street or Walker or something like that.
Exactly. You got a great memory. We stopped at, I think it's called Craig's Tire. Yeah. We got 4 tires, drove to the shore, had insult to injury. Wildwood had impounded my car. So I think we put it off till Saturday. We went out, had a nice time. I got the car on Friday. I don't really remember exactly.
And you dropped it off at a service station, right?
Right, exactly. They fixed the tires. Then I had the 10 bar on Saturday night in Wildwood. You hung out all night at the bar. And maybe you can finish this story.
Wait. Let's tell you, how did you wind up? Okay, before it wasn't about me. So, the problem is Abby listens to this.
Pretty funny.
Okay, well, you know what? I'll tell you, and then I will fill in the blanks. But how did you end up getting 4 tires flat on your car?
Well, now that is shrouded in mystery, but there's a short list of suspects. I remember I was dating a girl. Her name escapes me at the time.
I know the name, but I won't say it.
Yeah, we had a minor argument.
She was beautiful. Hey, Pat, she was one of the most beautiful girls. I remember that girl. She was gorgeous.
Yeah, she was a good-looking girl. She's sure mean as a rattlesnake, but good-looking.
Yeah.
And we had a disagreement, and I remember I went and hid somewhere, probably an inappropriate hiding place, if memory serves me correctly.
At another girl's place?
Well, maybe. I don't remember. And when I got back to my place in the morning, I mysteriously had 4 flat tires.
Always a downer.
I just never really got to the bottom of it. Never got an admission or anything like that. But, it is what it is.
Okay. So.
Well, now, it's funny. It's a funny thing. I just had a mini conversation with her sister. You remember the sister?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She wasn't too bad looking.
They were very similar in appearance.
Yeah. Hey,
now
Pat, I wasn't at Ruthless. I hardly ever dated any of anybody's ex-girlfriends.
Well, I don't think you called much of what you did dating.
Oh man, I went out to dinner. I took them out sometimes.
That's where one of the most famous stories of all time comes from.
Oh yeah. Well, the giraffe. That wasn't. No, actually, I didn't consummate that. That wasn't. That girl so turned me off that I remember that girl's name, and from every turn in the corner, it was, what am I doing here? But we did go down. We went down for the weekend, and I'm hanging out. It was Moore's, right? It's no longer there, right?
I worked at Ollie's.
We met at Moore's. You were finishing up. I was in Ollie's earlier, and then I went to Moore's.
Right.
And there was a girl there.
I remember I'm leaving Ollie's. I walk out, the sun's shining. The bars were open till 5 a.m. then.
Yeah.
As I walk out the side door, you come running up and ask me a question. Do you remember what the question was?
Where's the nearest place to get condoms?
You said, do you have any condoms? And I said,
okay.
No, I don't. But Wawa is right around the corner. And you ran. I swear to God, it was like Kramer and Seinfeld, the way you slid up and then took off.
Yeah. When I went to the Wawa, I went in there. I'm looking around. I looked around real quick, like a crackhead looking for a lighter. And I grabbed him, and this big-ass dude is wearing colors. I don't know if he was a warlock or anything like that. And he was real polite. He goes, man, you look like you're in a hurry. And he let me go in front of him. And you were still, I think you were still out front when I came back and I had the bag, the little tiny bag. They put it in a tiny bag too. They could have put it in a plastic bag, but they put it in a tiny bag. Like a candy bag that you get from Buy Throws or something like that.
From Buy Throws.
Yeah, Buy Throws. It was a little corner store around the corner.
What, you got little references written down there?
No, it's just popping in. These things, memories pop in. And because right before then, I was laying on the couch reading one of your collection of Mad magazine. I think I was putting that picture together that you had in Mad magazine. It shows two different pictures, and she asked me if I was going to come in or not because I was being a gentleman.
Yeah,
because I didn't want her to drive. A ruse?
Yes, that old ruse. I'm just sitting out here.
It was a technique, but it was a couple times I went down there to. I had a great weekend with you guys, and I think on Labor Day and Memorial Day, I popped in after working at the Encore. I was going to say the Encore, no, the Rosewood, and we'd go down late at night.
Yeah, those days you could close a bar and still make last call at the shore.
Yeah. I mean, we get out at 11:30, 12 o'clock, and the places were open till. When were they open till?
We were open till 5 then.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah, they were good days.
Yeah, you get down. I get down there like 2 o'clock, 2:15, and
I'm still tending bar in North Wildwood.
Oh yeah, where are you?
Yeah, at a place called Keenan's. Keenan's in North Wildwood.
I know.
Irish
Well, Keenan's been around for a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's our 20th year there.
Okay, I was down for Irish weekend in 2003. And that's in, when is that coming up? October?
That's this weekend. That's this weekend coming up.
Oh, you're going, oh, wow. That's a good time. I remember, actually, I was married at the time when I went down. I actually found 2 young girls stumbling down the street, and I had to take them back to, no, I was married, so I was actually doing
I understand.
I was walking the walk. And when I finally found where they belonged, there was a guy who's, I guess he's my age now. I'm 55. But he had that, receding hairline, the glasses going, and he started pulling the girl's top down. And that girl was maybe barely 21. And I was totally grossed out. I was totally grossed out from that. I am so glad. I don't think I'd be able to do stuff like that anymore. I mean, I'd have to put a lot of.
Now he's trying to get on the Supreme Court.
Yeah, no. This guy was this guy. I'm looking at it. He was just all creepered out, man. This guy didn't even look at. He didn't even attempt to take care of himself. But speaking of nice young ladies, your family still works there, and I don't want to say you said who's working at your bar now, and we'll save Jessica for us. Okay.
Jessica's working at the moment.
Yeah. Oh, but does you have some nephews that work there too? John's kids?
Yeah,
John, Neil?
John and Bridget both work there. They're John's son and daughter.
But yeah, they're a good-looking lad, and Bridget's a beautiful girl. Bridget just married a guy in the Army, right? A couple years ago?
Kevin, he's out of the Army, yeah.
Okay. And
Kevin McCluskey.
And does John work there every so often? Your brother?
John does, yeah. John kind of fills in here and there. Neil's 2 boys, 10 bar. Who else?
Billy Stanford's there, right? He's like a member
Billy
of the family.
Stanford's there, yeah. I think he's Philadelphia's only blind bartender.
Do you mean it? Is Billy blind now?
Yeah.
He is.
I mean, he's not fully blind, but I would say like 85% blind.
Really?
I mean, not a laughing matter, obviously, but it is funny to watch guys pour their own shots at a bar.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So it has to be a close-knit place to allow the pour your own shot rule.
Yeah. So when it comes to managing and stuff like that, it's you and who else? Like
Heather does most of the day-to-day stuff that I can't do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Heather's been a really big supporter of the show. I appreciate that. I just wanted you to know.
Oh,
that.
yeah.
She's a sweetheart. And
I reluctantly admit she's a good girl.
I
don't like to give her too much credit.
It's funny. I know. Next time I come up, I want to be able to show my appreciation in an appropriate manner. Respectfully. Respectfully. Okay. How the hell did you get a hold of Jessica?
She was a local bartender, and years ago in 1999, I said, "Why don't you?" I was kind of feeling like I wasn't pulling my weight.
Yeah.
On Thursday nights, we were doing like crab nights then, and I was really kind of focusing on trying to do crabs. And I said, "Well, why don't you come over and tend bar?" I figured it'd be a home run, and it was. She's not as good as she is now then. But
where'd you find her? Oh, she was a young kid.
She worked at Callahan's.
Oh, she was a kid, huh?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And then after that, she worked there maybe a year, and then she went to Fluke's. And then about 7-8 years ago, I don't even know what happened. She just said, "You got any shifts? I'd like to come back." And I wish I had 7 of her. She'd work every day if I had my way. Yeah.
Oh, great. Oh, well, you know what? It's funny. I noticed. I think Nora does Nora handle your social media or something?
Yeah, Nora and Heather. Yeah, they both collaborate.
And on Thursday night, was it Thursday? Is crab night Thursday night?
We do crabs Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday now.
Okay, and Jessica got back from vacation, and it said Jessica's back from vacation. We've got crabs.
Exactly. Yeah.
Was that on purpose or?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, that's good. Then it worked perfectly.
Yes, it does.
I like people to be aware of the things they say. Like to say, yes, that is a big wine key in my pocket. Or whatever. I know that's not particular, but I mean to be aware of yourself is very important. Okay, Pat. Yeah. When we do, when you came up to rock bottom, that wasn't rock bottom when I was there.
No, just McGeehan. It's really not an official name. It was just one day I was like, this, if you're drinking here, your life is pretty much at rock bottom. And I just thought that's kind of catchy. If you're here, you've hit rock bottom. So we put it on a T-shirt, and it stuck with it ever since.
Yeah, I was never just. I did do. There was a bunch of times. My idea of a good time there was showing up before we went out, like we go to Time Out in Kensington.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
we go and have a couple drinks and go out eat some food and go and try to meet some ladies, And you know what?
I can't believe you remember this stuff.
Well, no, well, you know what's amazing? How reputations tend to grow. I can understand how like Doc Holliday and Wyatt Earp got these reputations, because I'll tell you, I didn't close the deal as much as you think I did. I did. No, I mean, I wish I did. I mean, I guess a Hall of Fame hitter maybe if 300 to 400%,
Yeah, I mean, let's face it. Doc Holliday and Wyatt Earp did some shit.
Yeah. They
didn't give them a reputation for nothing.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but yeah, I appreciate it.
I think it's a fine reputation to have.
Yeah, I know. Who was it? Who was the guy? It was Rich. Was it Richie? We used to do Hans and Franz routine, and at that time I was maybe all 185 pounds, 180 pounds, 6'4". I was a skinny fuck. I mean, that's not as skinny as other guys, but I was pretty skinny. And we were doing and I thought we were doing a Hans who were and we were saying girly man. And I think that stuck. And then my ruthless thing made girly man become more of a moniker than it was, like Billy the Kid. And I didn't deny it. I never denied it. So I'm not embarrassed by it, but I did not want to be a liar either. You know what I mean? Oh, I certainly wasn't. When I was single, or mostly single. I remember bringing girls in, and Jimmy Mack would go and say, "Hey, where's that girl you're with? That girl, the other girl you're with?" I said, "She's a friend of mine." They would just. I wasn't pimping my girls out.
that place you're at, the Catch, that's a great place.
You like it?
Oh yeah, fabulous. I loved it.
Yeah. I'll tell you something. We got some nice. We got a wide spectrum of people that come into that place. Very wide.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Economic, education. I'll tell you, the bottom is lower sometimes. A lot, the bottom. Some of the people that come in.
Sure.
And the top is in the stratosphere when you talk economically and stuff like that. Some of the education levels and stuff like that. Well, I mean, it is wide and varied and from all over the country, all over the world. I mean, I'm talking to someone, I'm making jokes with somebody, a German family. I have a whole German family in there. And if you can mention Hitler and get them to laugh, that's a big thing. They're very touchy about Hitler. They don't want, when they start saying something, like if they started ordering a drink, I said, how are you ordering that? You seem very, very fascist the way you're doing that. And they kind of laugh, sometimes. And the Asian people don't laugh as much.
Yeah, no. Well,
I get them to laugh. You got an Asian, you got to do sight gags. Between East and West.
Slapstick.
Yeah. Yeah, and
that reminds
I got the Mexican. What?
You know what Hitler's motto is when he comes back?
What?
No more Mr. Nice Guy.
Oh man, that would be. I'm gonna definitely probably say that to them next time. So Pat, what do you think about you? So you heard about the Lovers Boutique idea?
I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, well, my idea with that would be to we're going to go in there to a live podcast. Eventually, I think if that works out, I'm going to call one of those places in Amsterdam.
That's
one of those. Yeah, I'm going to call one of those.
I have a little idea for you. While you're on location, you do a little local advertising, and you have advice for the lovelorn from the girly man. They come to the boutique, they lay out their problem, and you solve it right there on air.
Just recommend a product.
Or it's
go like this to just pull out a big black dildo out of the from under the table.
Yeah, give her what she wants.
Okay. I certainly thought about the marketing potential there. I always thought that maybe if just like Radio Shack, right at the end of every sale at the Lovers Boutique, if you do not offer batteries, you're missing an opportunity.
Exactly.
That's $5 to $6 minimum. So
yeah, and maybe you could have some of the lovelies from, what was the name of that bar I wanted to go to?
Woody's.
Well, some of the lovelies from Woody's stop by.
I was thinking about doing it. I was thinking about doing a show from Woody's.
I think that would be fantastic.
Because we are an audio medium, and we wouldn't be violating anybody's privacy needs, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you don't come up and talk and introduce yourself, then I'm not. Hey, listen, I'll tell you, I love Howard Stern. I purposely don't listen to other particular comedy podcasts anymore because I don't want it to be. I don't want it to be like that. And I know imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. I just think it also was, a lot of. I don't want to be that. I don't want to be accused of.
Well, you could subconsciously be ripping them off, not even ever realize it.
You're right, because it's gonna be my life.
Yeah.
But I don't think everyone brings their own angst and their personal histories into it. And Stern always talked about his thing. He always talks about how tiny his penis is and that, and how awkward he was with women. I never said that. I just said I wasn't as good as that. I mean, I was pretty good. I mean, actually, you get a reputation. I try not to expand on it because it stands on its own, So, And once again, here I am talking about it. What a fucking jerk off I am. You know. Hey, did I ever? And before we close off, did you listen to any episodes I told you about Janine and Don Canary, the girl that had her, the woman, the older woman who had her false teeth
you
stolen?
sold the false teeth, right?
Yeah, she died. She died like 3 months ago. Okay.
That's a shame.
Yeah, well, you know, she was living in the fast lane. You know, she, you know, lot of she was over medicated and all that stuff. I'm not saying it's, you know, good riddance or anything. It happened. Don Canary was her boyfriend, and after they left, Don Canary and this other woman, Suzanne, who regularly come in, and she was taking medication, and every time she'd have a drink, the medication said if you drink, you're going to get nauseous and get sick, and she got sick twice. And I had to clean it up. So I had to start refusing her drinks and stuff like that. But after this Janine died, it was her house. It was a house she owned. The family took it over, kicked him out. Don Canary moved out to Homestead. But I got another story about this guy. Not only did he steal his girlfriend, not only did he steal his girlfriend's teeth and try to ransom him for $500. This guy across the street, you may not recall it, but across the street from the catch is a pawn shop. And in the parking lot of the pawn shop, there's 2 cranes, industrial cranes. And this guy bought them. He owns them now. And he said he used to get asked by Don to drive him to the liquor store because he didn't have his license. There's a lot of people, you notice a lot of people riding bikes now.
Sure.
Because you have to drive down the thing. You always get busted and you lose your license. Well, Don Canary got driven to the liquor store. And this guy, he said I could tell this story. He's watching and he sees a police officer running back from the back of the liquor store. It was a Walgreens liquor store right up at the traffic signal from where you were staying, right? The guy comes running up. He throws Don Canary on the ground. It turns out Don Canary was, as a joke, he says, he was wearing a plastic bag because it was raining real hard. And he said he was kidding, and he tried to hold up the liquor store.
With a guy who he asked to hop a ride with.
Yeah, and the guy watches it
car.
as the getaway car.
That Don's a genius.
It is a genius. He got busted. The guy was sitting there waiting. He got up and asked the guy who's driving the car. He didn't drive off. He got out of the car, waited with his hands on the car, right? He said, "Officer," and the officer didn't even know that the guy was waiting, right? He didn't know until he called him over. He goes, he told him I drove him here. I didn't know. And the officer, in an extremely lucid moment, realized, he said, "Oh, that makes total sense. That you're not involved in this because you're not nervous.
Involved at all, right?
Yeah, you're not involved at all, and you're actually shocked by this." And this guy told me about it and stuff like that, and I said, "Fucking Don Canary, we salute you, Don Canary, to whatever you're doing up in Homestead right now." The day of his girlfriend's death, he came in and was drinking like a monster.
Is Don a handsome man?
He could have been at one time. Okay. You know what? I was talking to him. I assumed he was 70 years old, right? I assumed he was 70 years old and not a really good 70 years old. And then we were talking and we started making the same pop references. I said, "How old?" And he turned out he was 2 years younger than me.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
yeah. He was.
Sounds like Don could have hung in Kensington.
Yep. And on the road of life, Don Canary hit every bump with his face.
Yeah.
He certainly did.
Now, do you have a lot of people hiding from life down there?
Yep. We got a lot of people.
Yeah,
we got a lot of ex-cons, a lot of law enforcement, government. People. Some people say things like, one woman comes in, she looks really kind of she wears a lot of white makeup, pale makeup and stuff like that. And she was an editor for Vogue, a business editor for Vogue, which I don't understand exactly because not a fashion editor or a business editor. And She always wears nice clothing, but she's always with these guys that look like they just got off a sailboat, that don't have a lot of access to fresh water for showers and stuff like that, or shaving. And she's always hanging around with them. And she's always like, she's about, 17 years older than me, and always giving me the googly eye. My father always said, Jim, if you really wanted to, it's not really hard to marry someone with money. You just got to put up with a little, something.
Yeah, it sounds like she has a zest for living.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Oh, really? Yeah. She certainly does. But you know what, Pat? I want to say you guys are always welcome down here. That was a great time. Kevin O'Dare, your brother John. I want Neil to come down sometime. He's funny as hell. I said Kevin, John, Jim. Did I miss anybody?
Jim Golden. Yeah, he's having a rough time.
He is?
Yeah, he's not doing so well. So give him a big shout out.
Jim Golden.
But he'll be there next year. Next time we come down, he's coming.
Yeah, you better get your ass down here next year, Jim Golden.
There you go.
Yeah, and if you guys ever want to come down and you don't have to get a place to stay. If you get 2 guys, you can come and stay at my place. After 3, I think you need to rent a place.
You're the best, buddy.
You too, Pat. I appreciate that. And if you ever get, to all listeners, if you ever get a chance, go to McGeehan and say hi to the people in there. Tell them that Jim the Keys bartender said hi, and mention Pat and Jessica, John, Bridget, Bill the wine bartender. Don't ask for too serious a drink when you're talking to Bill, I guess. I remember going out for a drink with Bill one time, and it was like 7 hours later, and I said, Bill, what'd you tell your wife what you doing? I was going out for some bread. I said, bread? 7 hours? We could have went all the way down to D.C. and back and gotten the bread.
Yeah, well, one time he came in the bar and said, you know what? Hey, you, Uncle Charlie, and Corny, we're going to the Florida Keys. So he flew us all down. Stayed at this place in Isla Mirada. Had a great time. That's when he was Rich Billy Sanford, who I liked much better than Broke Billy Sanford.
Yeah. And what happened? Did he do it on the spur of the moment?
Yeah, he gave us like a week's notice or something, and we all just packed up and went.
What was that? What was the name of the strip club downtown we went to? Like when we went down twice. Easy Pieces?
I think it was Bumpers.
Bumpers, yeah.
Bumpers, yes. Yeah. That's the last time I was in a strip club.
Really?
Yes.
No, I don't believe you. I go, really? I felt like such a degenerate when you said that.
So our new motto, we're going to drop the rock bottom now. We're just going to call ourselves the worst bar you'll ever love.
Oh, what?
What do you think?
I don't know. I think you should get rid of worst and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's not a good logo.
No, it's not. It's a fun place. I have fond memories. I don't look at. There's nothing that happened there that was dark for me. Maybe so.
Well, you were always a gentleman.
One guy. No. What?
Sometimes it was hard to get you to leave, but you were always a gentleman.
I always had a good time. I want to thank Pat McGeehan for coming on, and we'll be next time we do this. Probably would like to have you in the bar and have everyone in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe we can link up between the 2 bars one night. I'll do it from Sharky's maybe or something like that.
We'll try and get Jess on.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll post some pictures of her.
All right.
Yeah.
She doesn't mind. We have her permission.
Well, thank you very much. That's great. Yeah. And you are a wonderful guest, Pat. I appreciate it.
Thanks, pal. Anytime.
I'll talk to you later.
Talk to you soon.
Bye. Well, that was Pat McGeehan from McGeehan's Rock Bottom. And we shouldn't say Rock Bottom. It's McGeehan's Pub, Common and Cottage in Northeast Philadelphia. What a great time. What great memories I had there. It's about 50 minutes into the show. So I'm going to start signing out. Tomorrow we're going to be doing our regular show, Wednesday at 5 o'clock from the Catch. We'll see you for episode 108. And look forward to seeing you. Bye.
At Domino's, we're more than pizza, so mix it up with our specialty chicken, stuffed cheesy bread, sandwiches, pastas, medium two-topping pizzas, and more for just $5.99 each, and we'll mix stand-up comedy with a robot.
Stuffed cheesy bread and my act have a lot in common. They're both super cheesy. Tough crowd.
You can also mix it up with Domino's salads, marbled cookie brownie, bread twist, and medium two-topping pizzas. Order any 2 or more for just $5.99 each. 2-item minimum. Bone-in wings, handmade pan pizza, and bread bowl pasta will be extra. You must ask for this limited time offer. Prices, participation, delivery area, and charges may vary.
Right now, you can get both Sprint's unlimited plan and the all-new Samsung Galaxy S10 included for just $35 per month per line for 5 lines. All you need is approved credit and an 18-month lease. No trade-in required. Visit a Sprint store, sprint.com, or call 800-SPRINT-1.
Phone $15 a month after $22.50 a month. Credit apply within 2 bills. If canceled earlier, remain balance due. Unlimited basic after $630.20. Pay $32 per month per line for 5 lines with auto pay. Data deprioritization during congestion. Speed maximums. Use rules and restrictions apply.